are on our way to do something that's a big step for our farm. Eleanor, did you find a tractor?
Yes.
You did?
Well, we found our tractor and I found me something I want. It's right there.
What, the sopping side?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Eleanor's got a rock collection going.
Yep.
And here
just
at
gave
the...
me a free frisbee.
Yeah? That was very sweet, wasn't it?
He saw that I had rocks and he gave me my frisbee so I wouldn't have to bring it back.
Okay, let's go look at our tractor. What do you think?
Is it that one or that one?
No, it's not that one.
It's not that one?
It's not that one. Eleanor's liking these big tractors. Is it this right here? No, it's not that. It's definitely not that, she said.
I know. It's a tractor, not a side-by-side.
All right. So, we think we have decided. So this is an L series, and this is a little big. Go stand next to the tire, Eleanor. See, this one's...
I'm bigger than the tire.
You are bigger than the tire. We've decided that that one is kind of big for us. And then this one, these are the same models. This one just has a backhoe and then a front loader on it. This one's a little bit too small. And you know what? Goldilocks? This one is just right. Pretty sure this is what we're going with. This is a B series. It pulls 4-foot implements. You gonna get up there? All right, don't push any buttons or anything. You fit on it pretty good.
Most of them are gas burners. The diesel tractor is better than the gas. There's your brakes over here. Okay. And it's forward and rear. Not forward and rear. Okay.
Eleanor, show me what you got. Onions? Yep, we're pulling up some of our onions.
And I need to tell you a fact about onions.
Okay, tell me a fact about onions.
When they need to be picked, this will be falling.
Yeah,
When they need to be picked.
yeah, their tops will fall over, the greens will fall over when they're ready to be
And
picked.
we've got a lot.
Yep, we've got
Do you
a
think
good
this
bit
one needs to-
of onions out
because
here.
If the leaves are falling down, is it?
No, you want at least half of the greens to have fallen over, so.
This one's a tiny one, but it's ready.
Yeah, it's a little one, but I think you're right. It's okay to have some little ones. We've got plenty of big ones too. Look at that one right there. That one's massive. Oh, yep, we got some baby geese
They're not
checking out what we're
babies.
doing.
They've got all their grown feathers in.
I guess you're right. They're not babies anymore. They are starting to get their grown-up feathers.
It's just the neck and the head that needs it.
Yeah. All right, baby girl, let's pick some onions.
I've already picked
Yeah, you've already got some. You can grab that one?
one.
Yep. Good job. I like that you're grabbing the bulb and not the top to pull it out. That's the right way to do it. Just pull that bulb. Good job, baby girl.
Our small stack, this is our big stack. I know the big stack has 20 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't counted these.
Yeah.
So I know there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We've got 18 small ones.
Now we are laying the onions out that were ready to be dug so that they can cure in the sun for a couple of days. And after 2 or 3 days in the sun, we'll take them into the barn and we will lay them out on a rack so that they can cure for another probably 3 weeks or so. We'll keep an eye on them and decide if they need to go longer than that. But for now, they need to be laid out so that they can cure in the sun for a couple of days.
To make sure all that goop that's inside of them turn into like onions.
Yeah, we want the onions to, we want all the moisture to dry out, basically. And so we're laying them out in the sun like this so that they'll kind of get a kick start of drying. And it'll go ahead. I imagine most of the green stuff will change colors.
We've got 30 big onions.
30 big onions.
But I don't know how many small ones yet.
Okay, but we'll have to count them and tell everybody how many we got. And this is just the first round. We've still got most of our onions in the ground.
Yeah, most of that.
So I think in another 2 weeks or so, we'll have all of them out. I'd like to have them out in 1 week because I'm planting tomatoes on this side of the garden this year, and my tomato starts are getting pretty big in the greenhouse. But I'm feeding them well and keeping them watered so they'll be ready to go whenever the ground is ready for them. What you think, Eleanor?
Yes.
Yes. All right, Eleanor, how many onions did we just pick?
53.
53 onions that we just dug, all laid out. And I think I planted close to 200. So we've still got a bunch to dig out, don't we? Yep. And that's not even counting the garlic. Y'all, I am normally super calculated with everything I do in the garden. I am not at all a fly by the seat of my pants or just do it and worry about it later kind of guy when it comes to the garden. Normally, I'm in my head about everything that I do out here for weeks before I do it. But today, I've got something that I thought of at the last minute, something spontaneous. I'm just gonna go with it before I talk myself out of it. So y'all check this out. So it all started because I needed to get 3 rows of onions out of the ground because it's about to rain a bunch for the rest of the week. And so as soon as I got done with work today, I came out here, pulled all the onions. They're not quite as big as I would have liked them to have gotten, and they would have gotten a little bit bigger. But with all the rain coming in, I was a little afraid that they were gonna start splitting on me because I did have a couple that were splitting. And now that all the onions are out, it strikes me that this is a bunch of weeding to do in here, a bunch of cultivating to do. And typically I would do that with my wheel hoe over here. There we go. But because there's so much of it to do, and because we just got a tractor, I'm thinking I may try something a little bit different. Just to go ahead and get things in the ground, because I'm already running way behind because I got sick early this spring. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a panel of this fencing away from the corner over here and peel it back and get the tractor in here. Now I'm thinking before next year, what we're probably gonna do, you can see that there's a full-size gate back there that the tractor could get through. We're gonna replace that little gate back there that goes into the pig pen with the bigger gate that's leaning up against the fence there. So next year I'll be able to get the tractor in here without having to tear my fence up. But today I gotta tear it up. And like I said, I wanna get this done before I talk myself out of it and say, no, just wait and put that gate up back there first. No, we're doing it today, y'all. now I'm gonna get the zero turn and go through and just knock down everything over here. Now you'll notice I'm not gonna run over this stuff over here. Those are my green onions, my multiplying onions, and I'm gonna dig them all up later. But what I'm trying to do is free up these 4 rows over here so that I can go ahead and get more stuff planted. And there's 2 more rows over here that I still need to get cleared up too. And then we'll get started tilling. Whoa! Just running the zero turn lawnmower over it made a huge difference. Do y'all see this? Now, what I didn't show here is that I pulled up my drip tape from last year. I don't mind replacing it. I've still got a bunch from last year. I don't use a whole roll of it every year or anything like that, so I had plenty of it to put back down. So I went ahead and pulled that up. That way I can till this stuff up with the tractor. So what I'm doing now is pulling up weeds and turning in the organic matter with the tiller on the tractor. Y'all, I could not be more pleased with how this is going so far. So let's see if it holds on to that optimistic viewpoint and the way that it turns out as we bring the tractor in. We're all tilled up here, so what I'm gonna do is get my fence back into place because it's starting to get late. Tomorrow after work, I'm gonna come out here and rake all of this, get my spacing set out for my rows, and then I will be laying some drip tape before I then rake my raised rows into being here. So it's prettier than what it was, a lot prettier. And once I get it raked into rows, y'all, it's gonna be beautiful. And then it's gonna be time to plant some tomatoes. Y'all, I'm so excited. I got tomatoes and peppers and some bush beans ready to go in. They've been sitting in the greenhouse nice and patient. I've been fertilizing daily, or every 2 days rather. So they are ready to go in the ground, and it won't be long until we've got fresh veggies once again here in the garden. Alrighty y'all, I'm done with work for the day and I'm happily back at work in the garden. You can see my double wheel hoe here in the background. What I'm gonna do now is use the plow attachment on my double wheel hoe to make these little ditches here where my rows are gonna be. And what I'm gonna do with those ditches is put down drip tape for the drip tape irrigation system in them. And so that will allow us to put water right where the roots of our plants are. It's also gonna make it easy to fertilize with water-soluble fertilizer. So I like that a lot. And then it also works really well with my mounded rows that I like to do for irrigation control. It makes it where I get to control a whole lot better the amount of water that's sitting on the roots of my plants at any given time. If it rains a bunch, the rain goes off and down the middle of the rows. So it'll get soaked up just enough, but it's not gonna oversaturate it. And then when we go several days without rain, even a couple of weeks sometimes, I can put water right at the roots of my plants to conserve water and to help make sure that the weed pressure isn't being helped along the way by the water that we're putting out there. Our drip line is run and the rows have been started. Now I decided to do a little experiment here. I'm gonna leave these 2 rows of drip tape that are laid down in those furrows. Gonna leave them exposed while I've got all but the emitters every 2 feet hilled up a bit on these other rows. And the reason I'm going to leave these exposed is because there's so much loose dirt on either side that I can put a plant on top of an emitter and then mound up around it to get it to stay in place, and then I'll come back and rake my rows up. So I'm going to see which way I like doing it better here, whether I like having the emitter be the only thing exposed when I'm planting, or have the whole tape exposed while I'm planting, and I'll decide how I'm going to do that moving forward, depending on which one of these I like the most. Right at 58 pounds of onions.
Woo!
Woo-wee.
Oh my goodness. It's a good onion harvest for our first time.
Oh yeah, can't complain about that. That's awesome.